Good day! This video shows how to take a quiz in Canvas. Hopefully you learned some pointers for before, during, and after taking a quiz. Let's say you are a student of this course called Physiology of Motor Control and you have an upcoming quiz. Before taking the quiz, check your device, your internet connection, and your web browser. For device, it is recommended that you use a laptop or a desktop computer. While you may use a mobile device and the student app in taking a quiz, using a laptop or desktop computer gives you a full view of all the quiz details while you're taking the quiz. Next, check your internet connection. You need a stable internet connection while taking the quiz so that you do not get interrupted midway. Third, check your web browser. Canvas works best with Google Chrome. Check that you don't have any other window or program open while taking the quiz. Having other programs or windows open might interfere with the Canvas quiz functionalities. For that same reason, it is recommended that you disable pop-up blockers. Once you have sorted all those details, you are ready to take a quiz. Go to the course navigation menu, click on quizzes, and your quiz will show on the next screen. In this case, your quiz is application of physiological basis of motor control, motor learning, and neuroplasticity. Click on that quiz and you will see the details for that quiz. This quiz has no due date, which means that you may submit the quiz at any time for as long as the quiz remains available. If the quiz has a due date, that means you have to submit the quiz by the due date or else your submission will be marked late. This quiz is worth 45 points and has 5 questions. It is available from 8 a.m. of October 8, which means that you cannot access it before this date and time. And it is available until 11:59 p.m. of October 8, which means that you can't access it or submit it after this date and time. If you are in the middle of taking the quiz and this date and time arrive, Canvas will force submit the quiz for you. So it's very important that you make sure that you access and submit the quiz before this date and time. Note the time limit. This quiz is 5 minutes just for purposes of demonstration. Whatever time is indicated there tells you how much time you have from the start of the quiz until you submit it. The time starts counting down when you click on the next button to go to the next page. Check how many attempts are allowed. For this quiz, you are given 2 attempts. This may be 1 attempt for some quizzes or more than 2 attempts for other quizzes. Check out what instructions or other information you can find on this page. Once you have read and understood all those information, you're ready to take the quiz. So click on that button and you will see that the time is now counting down and you see that warning message that the quiz will be submitted in 5 minutes. For all Canvas quizzes, you will get warnings at 30 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute before the time limit expires. It just so happens that this quiz is just 5 minutes long, so you saw that warning immediately. If this were a longer quiz, say if the time limit was 90 minutes, then the first warning that you would see would be at 30 minutes before the time limit expires. Next, check the question list. This area is a handy area to go back to from time to time while taking the quiz because it tells you which questions remain unanswered and which ones you have already answered. For as long as you see those question marks, that means that those questions are still unanswered. Once you answer these questions, you will see these question marks replaced by tick marks. Now you're ready to look at the questions. This quiz is set up in a way that you can see all the questions at once. It is possible that a quiz is set up so that you only see one question at a time. So let's look at question 1. You see it's 1 point and it's a true or false question. You answer that question. You move on to question 2. It's 1 point and you see it's a multiple choice question. You choose the best answer. And then you move on to question 3. You need to view a video clip and you see that it's an essay question. You then decide that you want to skip this question. So you go to that flag, click it, and that flag turns into gold. And that's a reminder for you to go back to this question before you submit this quiz. If you go back to the question list, you see that gold flag specifically for that question that you skipped, and the question mark remains there. So you go to the next question. It's another essay question worth 15 points. Let's say you're ready to answer this. So you answer this question, and then you move on to the next question. Another essay question worth 15 points. And you answer the question. Let's say for this question, you want to embed an image as part of your response. Just make sure that when you embed an image, check that the image has fully loaded before you submit the quiz. So this looks like it's good to go. You don't see loading. You see the picture clearly. So that picture embedded well. You scroll down further and you see the submit quiz option there. But don't submit just yet. As you do with other quizzes, you check that you've answered all the questions and that you're satisfied with your answers. You may also go back to the question list and you see the flag there and you're reminded to go back to this question. For as long as the questions are clickable, that means you can go back to the question. But you see a warning that you only have 1 minute left. So you go back to that question and you answer it. And now you're sure that you've answered all the questions. You may choose to submit the quiz now or choose to maximize the time given for this quiz. If you choose to maximize the time, then just go back to all the questions, check if you want to improve your answers until you see a warning that the time is up. When you see this warning, that means you need to submit it or Canvas will auto-submit. So, okay, fine. And this brings you to the summary page. You're done taking the quiz. What you see after the quiz on Canvas is the time it took for you to complete the quiz. So this tells you it took you 5 minutes to take the quiz. Your score is 1 out of 45 so far, but that's because some questions are not yet graded. This tells you to wait for feedback from your teacher to know your score. You also see that you have 1 more attempt available and that the highest of all your attempts will be considered your score for this quiz. Before taking the quiz again, just scroll down to see if there are other information there. You see that correct answers are hidden. For other quizzes, you might see the correct answers here as feedback to your answers. Once you are satisfied with the information that you've read, then consider taking the quiz again by clicking on this button or by clicking this link. So those are the basics for taking the quiz. If you want to know more, click on the Help button on the Global Navigation menu. Click on Search the Canvas Guides and type in your particular question. You can use this page for asking any question you may have about Canvas. So let's say you want to know more about taking a quiz other than what you saw in this video. Click on the best match and you're taken to that page. And that's it. Hopefully you found this video helpful in preparing for your next quiz in Canvas. Thank you for watching.